All right, this week I am excited to be joined by Lauren Downey. She is a digital marketing consultant specializing in paid advertising for lead gen and e commerce companies. She designs and executes paid media strategies for local, national, and international brands. She focuses on data to determine strategies, campaigns, keywords, and to improve overall user experience. She is fluent in paid advertising. Platforms include Google, Bing, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Amazon ads. So anything advertising, Lauren is your person. Let's get started. Welcome to VidMark, a podcast to give you the video marketing knowledge to always hit the mark. Let us help build your confidence with video strategy and content creation best practices. Join us weekly for pro tips and guest interviews as we explore the powerful communication tool of video. It's time to boost your business. Let's talk video. Welcome to the podcast, Lauren. I'm excited to talk about all things advertising and ad placement, maybe a little bit of video, a little bit of trends. How's your day going, Lauren?
Good. Thanks so much for having me, Brian.
Yeah. How are things looking for you like this time of year? We're at November 12th and
Yeah, really busy for me. Since COVID, actually, it's been extremely busy. More businesses are going online and needing online help. So I've been there to help them.
yeah, I mean, that's been the big shift I've seen. Everyone who maybe even if they weren't digital before, they've now moved online. Are you working? Maybe you can explain just for the audience to know, like, kind of average size client that you work with. Is it like very small
Yeah,
business, mid-sized business?
I've been doing paid advertising for 6 or 7 years. So I've worked with all different sizes of clients. Right now I still have a variety of sizes. I work with restaurants and then I work with clients that have $1 million products. So um, a variety of clients. Yeah,
Well, Lauren, I appreciate you coming on the show. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your background?
sure. Um, I was actually born and raised in Portland, and I went to the University of Oregon down in Eugene. I, I studied French. I love learning languages. I actually had a lot of different things before getting into marketing. Um, I've worked in lots of restaurants and taught English in France, taught English in Chile. I worked at a wine distributing company, but ultimately, I got an entry level position at a marketing agency and really loved doing that work. It was very rewarding, and it's really where I got my start.
It's always interesting how people's like their journey, and I'm sure you still pull upon some of those different skill sets that you've acquired over the years into marketing, because what I found is marketing takes all these different types of skill sets of like kind of psychology, communication, design, all these different assets that all these different elements that make up like a good advertisement or a good ad placement.
Yeah, and even just owning my own business and networking, I feel like um, working at restaurants and meeting people every 10 minutes, just that this the you know it's helped with sales and networking. I know how to talk to people. I can find something relatable.
So Lauren, that's awesome. How do you help your clients?
Yeah, so all of my clients need paid advertising help. Um, they either don't have any paid advertising, they need someone to do it, or they need someone to audit it and maybe train them on how to do it themselves. And I'm so that might mean managing their Google advertising, their Facebook ads. I even do LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Amazon advertising, which is really big.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I think tuning in for this podcast might be at ground zero where they think all the advertising on all these platforms is the same and you can just like it's a one click and done. Do you want to explain some of the variances from each platform and why it's really necessary to work with someone like yourself?
Yeah, well, actually, Google has done a really good job at making Google Ads easy for small businesses to kind of just set up and get going. And they have a really good um, help and support network. If you wanted to, I mean, you can call a Google representative and get help yourself. So Google is really good at doing that for small business owners, and so is Facebook. Facebook has boosted posts, so that would be my recommendation for very small businesses just trying to kind of get started and learn if advertising even works or helps them. What I do is I do a lot of research, but then create campaigns, audiences, ads, ad copy, depending on the platform, and create a more robust um, advertising strategy for clients. And those are typically bigger clients with budgets um, that they have allocated toward paid advertising.
That's awesome. And I guess now is a really good time to be pushing an ad campaign, right? As we're venturing into the holiday season. Do you have any recommendations, like, different types of year that might be better for advertising than others?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very competitive right now. Everyone's trying to advertise because most people are going to be doing their shopping online this year because of COVID. And it's so easy to do research online. You want to make sure your brand is, at least people are familiar with your brand. So that's really the first step for a company, is making sure they know about you. Your customers, potential customers, know about you, um, because there's a lot of different touch points in marketing, paid advertising, social media, your blog, um, other websites talking about your company. So you want to make sure that you're visible.
Definitely. And to bring things back to what we were talking about before we even got into this podcast, was that sometimes the customer needs to see or interact with your product many times before they decide to make a decision, right?
Hmm. Yeah, especially for more expensive products where there's more research. It's a bit more risky to buy something that's $300 rather than a $20 product. So I do find that cheaper products work better on Facebook, for example, because it's not as big of a risk as buying a $400 off of a Facebook ad. So that's where you would want to make sure that you show your value on your website, on Facebook, through testimonials. Um, yeah, creating your brand and an omni-channel sort of marketing strategy.
Definitely. And you're able to help your customers with all of those process. I know I saw on your website it's branding. I think the main part is advertising, but you can help people take a holistic approach to their marketing strategy, right?
Yeah, I nearly all of my clients I just do advertising for, but I look at Google Analytics and say, hey, a lot of your business is actually coming from your email list. Maybe we should focus on getting more email subscribers. Maybe that sign up for a newsletter should be at the top of your homepage. Maybe that will help generate some more your email list. So these are things like that we can find through Google Analytics and Hotjar. Um, that I find these things, and I certainly want to help my clients. So I make recommendations like that when I find them.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is, like, yeah, you're more on, like, on the analytics side, being able to really dive deep into the numbers and maybe pull a story out of the numbers, or be able to kind of just explain a better course of action for your customers.
Yeah, because if paid advertising isn't the best channel, then I don't want to continue pushing that for a client. Maybe maybe just content and email marketing, that would be a more profitable, lucrative channel, and so I would recommend focusing more on that.
Without going into too much, like, detail about the client or customer, but do you
Yeah.
want to explain, like, a recent story or something that comes to mind of a success moment that you might have had with a recent customer?
Yeah, some of my clients had sales drop quite a bit in March and April with COVID. So I needed to still maintain. I needed to test other platforms to see how we can increase or maintain those sales. And so, fortunately, one of my clients said, "Yeah, let's try Facebook ads," because we were only doing Google Google and Bing ads, so search ads at the moment. And we learned quickly that Facebook ads were doing very, very well. And so now Facebook ads are part of his marketing, and they're great at one, generating brand awareness so people are familiar with the company, the products, but two, it's Facebook ads are really great at if you can get a lot of comments on your Facebook ads, people love reading those comments. Um, and if you have, this is my one recommendation to businesses is if people are commenting on Facebook ads or on your test on your or reviews on Google My Business, you should respond to those. You shouldn't, start building a relationship with your customers. And so I think I got a little off track there, but
No, that was great. No, that I think the more the better for a lot of these people tuning in. Yeah, I've heard some good things about responding to reviews or things that people have written within like 24 hours, things like that. And Google now has like some, without going too far on the tangent, but it's okay if we do. Now Google has, I mean, they upgrade these algorithms all the time, so they're tracking that engagement, tracking interaction between different posts, right? Even like on a review page, it will help with some of the analytics, right? Or not analytics, but help with the ranking of things.
yes. So if you have reviews on, like for example, Google My Business, and that's attached to your Google Ads account, then those stars and reviews can appear in an ad. But I don't think you can respond. You can have the response in an ad, but you can have those responses on your Google My Business page.
Maybe I was thinking of Yelp. Okay, yeah, I know what you. Okay, so for Google My Business, where people can leave a star rating and leave a little comment, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I guess just going back a little bit is, we were only doing search ads, and those are fine. But now, like, we have this whole other audience, these Facebook and Instagram users, and that's a whole different area we haven't touched before. And so now they're growing their social media, which is just organic search or organic posts, and showing off their products in a different way, and like building more of a community on their Facebook and Instagram pages. And so that's been very successful for them.
Do you have some time? I'm sure people in the audience are thinking like time frames. Like, what are these windows of time that it takes to grow some of these things?
Mm-hmm. I hate this answer, but it depends. I think kind of going back, my successful clients have a fan base. They have people that are familiar with them. So if you can start growing your audience, even just organically through social media, so through SEO, and you get people interested and then decide to advertise, that advertising will be more successful because you already have people that are familiar with you. So however long it takes to grow your brand, your audience, your followers, that would be my
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, but you'll also work with people that maybe don't have as many followers, and you can help them grow them. Or I guess the ideal person already has, 1,000, 100. And it depends on the industry, like you said, and depends on the situation. But yeah, say they're, if they already have a good amount of people interacting with and engaging with their brand. But this is just like a side note or something I'm thinking of. You have all these other. Have you seen some of these brands out there? They'll have like 10,000, 100,000 followers, but then zero, like very low engagement. No one is really. They're like kind of they might be. I think people used to pay for bots or pay for followers,
Yeah.
which actually shows some kind of a community. So are you looking for communities that are like what are without
Yes.
having to like put you on the spot, but go for it. Whatever you're thinking of.
Yeah, like a community that is in love with your product and wants to continue to buy that product and share that product, or maybe buy it for, like right now, especially, you might want to say, hey, you love our product. I bet your friend will like our product too. This would be a great gift for a loved one. So, um, getting like word of mouth is so powerful. And so if you can get your fan base, your advocates, to speak highly of you and recommend your products, that's the best marketing.
Totally. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people, they value like their friends or maybe an influencer's opinion over a commercial that they see. Not to hate on video, but doing a YouTube video could be different, or doing a video placed on Facebook or placed on. I guess you can place Google on, or place video on some of the Google advertisements, right?
Mhm.
This time, yeah. A big thank you to our sponsors over at songtub.com. That's right, song or music and a tub, like a bath, but more fun to say. Tub. Anyway, you can check out Songtub's website for any of your music needs. In fact, the song playing in the background right now is from Songtub. So why pick them over anyone else? Well, they curate the music. And I know the guys, so that means I know that they're selecting great music for your project. A lot of other companies will brag about how many songs they have, maybe 100,000, 200,000, maybe even 1,000,000. But honestly, I don't have time for that. I don't have the time to just sit down and go next, a song not so great, trying to figure out where the best music is. Songtub.com, great place to get your music, and now I'm excited to offer you the first month for free if you go to songtub.com/pro, Pro, and we have a promo code for you. Yes, that's right, my name, your host, Brian, Bryan, and that will give you your first month free to have access to a huge music library that you can use towards your next video project, podcast, or any of your general audio needs. Anyway, back to the show. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So this is a VidMark podcast. Do you want to talk about have you used video recently, or have you used video in some of your marketing
Yeah,
efforts?
I haven't done much marketing for myself, but my clients do YouTube videos. And so either for brand awareness, to educate people about their product, or to remarket. And so people who've already familiar with their website, we want to say, hey, remember us, come back to our website and purchase, or fill out one of these forms. So that's there's a lot of things you can do with YouTube and
Yeah.
VidMark.
And I hope people in the audience are listening. Like, you're explaining like a call to action at all of these. Every single thing that you create has an action that you want the customer to take. Do you want to talk about the power behind that? Is that where you start with all of your clients? So you start with what's the action you want to have happen, and then you think about what the best solution is from there?
I recommend having calls to action on every ad, so people know what to do. Learn more, shop now, download our podcast, just to make it crystal clear what this ad is saying.
Definitely. Yeah, great answer. Well put. Going down some of the list of topics, do you have a favorite stage in the process of working with clients? Like, what's the most rewarding thing for you when you work with your clients?
What's very rewarding is when after all of the research, all of the campaigns, ads, ad copy, everything's launched, running, tested. Once we have met our goals, so the number of leads we're looking for that month, or the cost per acquisition is where we want it to be, that's the most rewarding, because there's a lot of work up front and a lot of testing that needs to be done before we can really meet our goals, and then continue meeting our goals from there.
Definitely. Yeah, and I come from more of like the creative lens. You come from more of the analytical, more of the scientist mindset. Do you feel like that? Like, sometimes it's like you have a hypothesis, an idea of what you think is going to happen, you test it, and then adjust very quickly depending on what the results kick back?
Yeah, in Google and Facebook, they're really good at optimizing for what I say. Okay, we're looking for sales. Okay, Google says, okay, we're trying to get sales. So, um, yeah, fortunately, Google and Facebook have um, they've their algorithms have advanced quite a bit. So that's helped my my business a lot.
definitely. And so, yeah, you're talking about these algorithms. Is that, if we want to break down some of the changes that you've seen in placing ads in the last couple of years, do you want to very briefly kind of give your synopsis of what's happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll try not to have too much jargon in this, but for example, Google Ads has a lot more automated options, smart bidding options, where we can tell Google this is our goal, and it will focus on that as the goal. Um, but that being said, there's a lot more options as well. There's a lot more bidding strategies. There's a lot more. There's more campaign types to choose from. So that's where there's more opportunities to test.
Definitely. So there's just like more avenues, and people's without getting like too granular. um, Talking about like attention economy, or maybe just talking about like keeping people's attention and how important that is in today's day and age.
Yeah, this might be more of a creative question. Some cool things that we can do with YouTube is see how long people watch a video before they say skip ad. So we can see, like, we can maybe say, maybe we can adjust this video so that it's more engaging at the front and people won't skip it so soon. Um, because, like you said, people have low attention spans.
Yeah. Just bringing it back kind of to the audience, and that was a great answer. Like, what do you work with service providers or also people that sell products? Is it kind of a mix? Is there one group that works better than another? B2B, B2C?
Yeah, no, right now I work with e-commerce businesses and B2B businesses. Um, one does not work better than the other, but there's different seasons for e-commerce. Like right now, it's a busy time. Where B2B, like September for my clients was really busy. So it really depends.
Yeah, and yeah, well put. I would say just kind of moving down the list of topics here, and I think you already answered it earlier, but let's try to make it, or like maybe we can just make it really concise for people. What's one small thing that businesses could do today? I know for me personally, or like one of the first few things that come to mind is like I think Google gives you X amount of dollars to spend, like free. Is that a good place to start? Where would you start with someone's ad placing? Other than working with you, of course, but like before working with you, is there anything that they can do?
Yeah, I guess again, I hate this answer, but it kind of depends on where your business is. If you have never done advertising before, yeah, take advantage of, I think Google offers something like spend $25, get $100 worth of ad credit. So maybe that would be a good opportunity to learn and test some ads and learn how to do keyword research and write ad copy and kind of figure out what people are looking for and if that matches your product. Um,
And realize how much work goes into it that you're doing on the back end, trying to learn some of that stuff from like ground zero.
yeah, yeah, but that's great. And I think, yeah, I think Squarespace even does something similar where you can get $100 of ad credit through them.
But a lot of people are going to run into some hiccups because you've been doing this for years, so you understand like what's the best ideal copy to use. And I think you've written a handful of blog posts on this as well, right? That maybe we can direct some of the listeners to go check out.
Those are probably, yeah, I have. I think those are outdated. I probably should update them, but yeah.
Which is crazy because they came out like only 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, but I might be a better writer
2017.
now. I might be a better writer now and probably can explain things in a different
Oh,
way.
okay. So the content is still there. It's just a matter of yeah, getting the
Yeah.
getting everything concise or how come across the way that you want it to.
Yeah. Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that just tells you how quickly things move in the digital space. If that was just a couple years ago, or I guess how much we all grow as writers, as in the crafts that we're working on.
Hmm.
Well, Lauren, any future predictions, trends that you're seeing? I know we've kind of gone through that a little bit, but where do you see things going in 2021? I know for me, I mean, things are continuing to go more digital. I haven't seen what the uptick in numbers for, you know, Google users, Facebook users has been this year, but I would imagine a handful of people probably have
Mhm.
migrated onto this because of, more people staying at home, boredom. There's a degree of, escapism using some of these different platforms that people. That's why they're so popular.
Mhm. Yeah, I think one of my big predictions is that Google will is Google is Google Shopping is becoming more like Amazon. You can purchase specifically through Google, um, and I think I'm not sure how far in the future, but that people will be shopping on Google or Amazon.
Definitely. Yeah. Sorry, I was pulling my chair up closer. Yeah. I mean, you even see, you just type in any product now and they start giving you a list of different items, and yeah, you can buy directly from them, or maybe they kick you over to eBay or over to Amazon. It's interesting how shopping in e-commerce has evolved.
You could spend a year working on ranking higher and higher in Google, but it might never happen. So it's never a guaranteed. It's a long-term strategy. Whereas advertising, you will show up in Google or Facebook, you will show up. Your target audience, whoever that may be, will see your ads. So um, that's one great thing about advertising is it's very quick.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you can, yeah, really gear it towards the right people seeing it. Whereas, yeah, if you SEO, it helps you rank higher, or, organic content, you're putting it out there. But with paid advertisements, that's what you're getting for. You're paying for something, so it should be a little bit higher quality, right? Or you should be giving you the results more quickly than the long game, which is some of these other marketing strategies. What types of clients do you hope to work with in 2021?
Yeah, I work with a lot of clients that are based in Portland. And I love working with clients that I can meet or, have socially distanced meeting. Um, but, one thing that I love about my job is that I learn so much about different brands, different products, different customers. And so, um, I like working with clients in Portland, but I really don't have a specific, um, who I work with and who I don't work with. So, I mean, all of my clients right now have been doing advertising for at least a year, and they have some idea of who their customers are, and they have Google Analytics set up, they have websites, they have a product, they've sold products, they're making money. So now they want to um, to use advertising to see if they can get either more sales or grow their brand on a new platform or from a different channel, and or they might need help just looking at their Google Analytics account and kind of auditing it and see, is tracking set up correctly, kind of figure out where to go from what they're doing now, because they want to be more profitable or they want to make more sales, they want to be more lean. And so sometimes they just kind of need an audit and a different perspective.
That's awesome. So you're really able to take these brands and elevate them to the next level and help them grow uh, at a, provide your expertise and showcase some of the things that you've learned from other companies that you've worked with, and yeah, provide a good experience for them overall.
Yeah, I mean, looking at their Google Analytics, I can almost immediately give some sort of recommendation or say, look, almost all your traffic is from mobile. Is your website mobile friendly? Or, kind of get a better sense of what's going on their website, looking at Google Analytics.
Yeah, that's awesome. I applaud you. I'm very impressed that you're more able to take the analytics, the science side of things, and provide good insights for your customers. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah. It's not easy, and it takes a whole nother skill set. Now you have the Google Analytics training sessions. Just yeah, it's cool seeing the fusion of creative and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
analytical
think
side of things.
Google really does a great job offering free courses, um, tutorials, or help, their phone help. They really want people to feel comfortable with their platform, and they want new businesses to open Google Ads accounts. So I think that is, um, they make it easy for business owners to start.
A cactus knows how to survive. It can endure scorching heat, limited rainfall, and defends itself against critters daily. Your business is no different. To survive harsh conditions, it's important to develop deep roots using media content that'll continuously nourish and support your marketing efforts day after day. Tactus Media is here to help you determine a strategy and create media content. Together, let's map out the next sequence of videos, podcasts, and social media to help your business thrive. Work with Tactus Media, media tactics that stick. Ouch! Visit tactusmedia.com to learn more. Yeah. What's something that a lot of people probably don't know that they should know about placing ads?
What I'd recommend if you're starting a new Google Ads account is, one, do keyword research, know what keywords you want to target, and then two, make sure they're phrase match keywords. And that's when there's quotes around that keyword or that phrase, and that will very likely save you a lot of budget, wasted spend. Yeah, make sure you understand those match types when you're creating your keyword lists in Google Ads.
Yeah, that's awesome. And for people that don't even want to try to figure that out, don't even want to like begin with it, they can reach out to you, right, to get some better understanding. What's that initial process like? I think you mentioned something of an audit, so you'll go in and just review everything that the customer is already doing.
Yeah, typically what I'll do is I'll get access to their Google Analytics and Google Ads, and kind of get an assess what I would what changes I would make, what new campaigns would I build, and then and if they agree with that, then I would implement those changes, and then typically I'm on a month-to-month retainer where I'm continuously monitoring and making changes and focusing on reaching those predetermined sales or lead goals with the client.
Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for breaking that down. I think that'll help a lot of people kind of understand what that process looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lauren, I'm sure you have a lot of things going on today. I think before we got on this podcast, you mentioned you're juggling a lot of things. You have a lot of clients in the queue right now. What does the rest of the day look like for you?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Checking in on some accounts, building a couple new campaigns, and having some phone calls with clients later on today.
Sounds exhausting, but that's a Thursday, right?
Connecting to the internet. Please check your Wi-Fi network.
Oh, whoa. Alexa.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Here, I'll deal with that. Okay, actually, I think it's gone. There you go. That's the the future speaking right there. I'm speaking of voice and Alexa. Have you even considered that? Is that even on your radar for future types of marketing?
Yeah, what's interesting is, for example, in Google Ads, you can look up search terms and see exactly what people are typing into Google and if your ads show for that term. And sometimes, not too often, you can see a search term, okay, Google, or, and so that was actually a voice search.
Interesting.
I do think, voice is becoming more and more. People are becoming more and more comfortable with.
Yeah. Do you have any, I mean, just like a ballpark or just throwing out an estimate, like a rough percentage or estimate idea of like searches that you've seen with that, like 10%, 15%?
No. I mean, at least for my clients, 1 or 2%. I mean, very, very little.
But that's enough. And, millions of people searching one product, that could be quite a bit. Yeah, I'd be curious if that, it just has to continue to grow. I think as human beings, we're always looking for convenience. And so if you don't have to actually type something, a lot of people are still like, if they don't really know how to text, they are a little bit at a disadvantage or can't use their mobile to do a lot of things, are at a disadvantage. But everyone can speak relatively. That's a whole nother topic of discussion, but
Yeah, I think just people are more comfortable quietly typing in, Tactus media, rather than saying it.
or found marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Lauren, I appreciate your time today. This has been a very fun discussion. Where can people find you? Where can people learn more about your services?
Yeah, you can find me at my website, which is foundmarketing.co.
Awesome. And we'll put all of those links into the show description, website, LinkedIn, Instagram. You're pretty much on every platform, I think. So, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Being very vocal and being a thought leader out there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love talking about marketing and helping people who want to get into marketing. I had a mentor a couple years ago who really helped my career, and so I'm always looking to help others who are interested, who want to talk.
That's awesome. Yeah, because there's so many different facets of marketing. I find it fascinating. Every couple of weeks, I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that existed. And oh, now there's this new tool that makes this thing that used to take me a couple hours to do just like 20 minutes. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fast-paced industry for sure.
Yeah. All right, Lauren. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Brian. You too.
Thanks for tuning in to VidMark, a place for all your video marketing needs. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform and tune in every Thursday morning on either iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and more. For a behind-the-scenes look and some bonus tips, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Until next time, good luck with your video marketing efforts, and remember, always hit the mark.